Okay, hi everyone, this is Koinzell here. So I am going to start a new video playlist in which I will run through the Taiwan server patch notes. I know that you guys are playing BDM Global, and it doesn't really help to know. It may not really help to know about the Taiwan patch notes, but I realized that by doing this on a weekly basis, eventually you guys will be able to reference back to the updates that we have, the order of the updates that we have, and potentially what are the new updates for you guys sometime down the road. So to me, right, I think there is value in doing this, and also since you guys are watching my stream, by running through this, right, you guys will know what the new content that I can bring to you in my stream as well. So that's why I'm doing this series. At the same time, I will also touch on the new items introduced in the cash shop. I will share how I usually do my decision making on whether the item is worth to buy, and based on that, right, hopefully it will help you guys sometime in the future, because I do believe that eventually you guys will get a similar kind of items compared to ours. Yeah, of course it may not be the same. I can't tell for sure. I'm not a dev. I'm not part of the dev team. So let's see how it goes. So we'll start this new series. I'll do it as a separate playlist from the Black Desert Mobile Endgame playlist that I have now. Okay, so let's go into the update itself. So this is the first time we are doing for the Taiwan server, and this is on the 24th of March. So the most important update I would say for this particular patch, right, is that they have revamped. They are actually revamping the Sun Battlefield. If I do a literal translation, it's Sun Battlefield renewal, yeah, or revamp. So I think you can see from the picture, this is Titan, this is Gladiator. For some reason, they always like to use these two characters. Even the Path of Glory, right, is using Titan. Okay, so essentially the changes, first off, the very straightforward one would be the time change. It used to be 3 days, 2 slots each. One in the noon, 1 to 3 p.m, the other in the evening, 7 to 9 p.m. So now they have effectively reduced it to 4 slots in total, 1 slot per day, and it's always 7 to 9. Honestly, this is a change that I welcome, because 1 to 3 is not very friendly to people like me who have a full-time job. So I actually welcome this change, and it will be great for me to do this content during the streaming as well. Okay. Oh, okay, so there's another thing is that when there is the Sun Battlefield, right, they actually disable the Arena and Ramones. So you can't go to those, you can only do Sun Battlefield. So they really want you to play Sun Battlefield. Okay, first off, right off the bat, right, the first thing I noticed is that the positions have changed. Previously, it wasn't so close together, basically. The rest of the items here are more or less the same, but they have changed the contribution points. You only get 1 point from killing someone instead of the current 20. But I believe they will be rearranging the rewards accordingly anyway. Okay, so this much is pretty much the same, this part. This is the interesting one. So if you see here, right, basically they have changed the system such that you still have the sub-captain. The sub-captain is still 100% health. You bring him down, you get the sub-weapon, the special weapon from the sub-captain. Hang on, let me just lower the music a bit. Okay, now what is different here is this counter here. Basically, right, you need to kill 250 of the opposing players before the second boss will be summoned. So if you are on the winning side and you hit 250 before the other opposing side, right, their enemy boss will spawn first for you to kill. So what this means, right, is that they have effectively changed the Sun Battlefield such that instead of right now what it is, where it's basically a boss rush mode where you have a few huntresses defending, to now where it's a full-on, full-skill mass battle, 50 versus 50 mass battle. I am actually really looking forward to this. I think it'll be very fun. I would not be using my Huntress anymore. I'll definitely be using my LAN, because you need all the CP that you can get. Of course, if I'll probably have to test it out to see whether or not Huntress is still strong, because without the boss rush focus in mind, right, as a Huntress, right, if people really want to, it's going to be much harder to be attacking safely. There will be people who will be rushing against you, trying to gun you down. So a bit similar to how Node War is like. But for Node Wars, right, there are strategic points where you can make it such that there are strategic points where you can make it such that effectively it's like a choke point. So that is where Huntresses get to truly shine. But in the Sun Battlefield, if you guys have been watching my stream so far, right, there are not much choke points per se, and a smart team, right, will know not to pick a fight at the choke point. So I am really looking forward to this change. I'll be doing the stream for this Sun Battlefield tomorrow at 7 PM GMT plus 8. That's 25th March, 7 PM GMT plus 8. And let's see how it goes. Okay. There's another change that they made, right? Is that for the weapon that is dropped by the sub-captain, the weapon actually gets stronger the more people are picking it up. So the more it passes hands between players, right, the higher the effect of the weapon. So I think this is also to help accelerate the progress of the Sun Battlefield towards the 250 kill count. So I think all of these changes are making it very exciting. And on top of that, right, they have made it such that the picking up the weapon, you just need to move your player's your avatar's body towards it instead of having to interact and click on it. So I think that's really good. Okay, other than that, okay, let's go to this direct page itself. If you see, right, before we focus on the right at the center here, one of the restrictions they have added, right, is that you can only go in 10 times a day. But if I don't know how the mass battle is going to turn out. For all you know, right, it may take up to 30 minutes, which is the maximum time, or maybe it will take like 5 minutes, like what you have now. So either way, right, you only have 2 hours, which is 120 minutes to do 10 times. So in using that as an assumption, right, it means that minimally you need to be able to finish each of the Sun Battlefield session within 12 minutes just to meet the maximum limit here. So I have a feeling that might not be so easy to meet. So maybe it's something like if you start playing at 7, maybe you will only hit it at 8:30 PM, almost 9. Yeah. So the next thing I noticed is that the award has been increased. Typically it was previously was 5 upon winning, 5 upon 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 based on your contribution, the ranking, and then another 5 if you kill 100 players. So looking at this system, it's definitely better for us. We will earn more of these medals. Now, the interesting thing here, right, is that they have added somewhat like a gacha system here, where the material previously used to enhance the Stone of Balance, right, can now be used as a entrance buff per se, where by choosing the highest, right, you actually get to have plus 30% Black Spirit Rage damage and plus 2000 HP. If you win, and the big thing here is the if you win, you get this stronger crystal that effectively can add a lot more to your Stone of Balance enhancement success level, or the leveling success percentage. But it's a huge gamble, because if you use 100 of these, and for some unlucky reason or something, where maybe your teammates just happen to be not strong enough, or maybe they didn't focus on the objective correctly, and you didn't win, you would have spent 100 of these stones, right? These crystals, right? Materials, right? Just for this buff and not for this. So it is really like a gamble. It's basically a gacha. See whether you can get a win. If you get a win, then yeah, you get a nice, good, stronger version of the crystals. Otherwise, you just spend 100 crystals for nothing. To give a bit of background, right? At my level, my stone balance level, I think is about almost 130 or 130 plus now. I need about 500 just to level once. So this is huge. This is like 20% of that. And typically each day, right, the amount that you can get from farming 24/7, right, is somewhere around this figure as well. 100 plus, maybe if there's some bonus event, then you'll be 200. But effectively, right, it's not that easy to get 100 of this. Time is required to get that. So this is quite the huge gamble. And they have actually reduced your chances of winning by removing the party system. If you notice, right, the party setup button is gone. So they don't want the high CP characters to group together and to tip the skills too much. Yeah. So I applaud the the developers for doing that. I think that is a good move to help balance out, because at the same time, right, what happened was that they have actually reduced the minimum damage that can be received from attacks. What this means is that the high CP characters will take less damage now. So I think this is an important balance, and I think they have purposely done that because since they have changed it really to be like a mass PvP, right? It will be pointless if the high CP characters melts just like any other CP character. So I'm very interested to see how all this plays out. I have seen some of the videos on the Korean server. I would say it's quite exciting. It looks so. I will definitely be streaming and showing you guys how it will be like. So other than 100%, right, you can see that there are other permutations that you can choose. Then 35, 75. Personally, myself, since tomorrow will be the first time we'll be playing this, right, I will definitely be using the 10 only, just to try out how everything goes, and we will see whether or not when it's worth it to actually use 100. Okay, so if you look here, right, this is the stone balance. Basically, it gives you 5 attack and 5 DP, 5 AP and 5 DP per level. At every 50 level mark, you get another bonus of 1% reduction from player damage in PvP, basically. So, and group PvP. And so, right, this stone is actually very important in terms of pumping up your CP, in helping to pump up your CP. This is the reason to play Hardum mode, other than the fact that Hardum gives you the highest amount of XP per time spent. And on top of that, this is the better version of that crystal that I was talking about. So this is the mystical grade, this is the abyssal grade. So orange red, you see the percentage, you'll tell the difference. This is almost 3 times. But it's a huge gamble. If you lose 100 of this. If you win, you get 3 times of this. So it's like doing a simple gamble where you just use 100 to try to win 300, or you lose everything. Okay, next change that they introduced, right, is the system where based on the amount of number of times you did the guild boss rush, you get a higher award based on that. Fairly straightforward. Okay, this notice is just to inform us that the arena season and the Path of Glory season will be refreshed in the second week of April. So this is fine. This is something that we have already been expecting anyway. So it's a pity that I got my pink/ancient grade Path of Glory medal so late. But it's fine, because a pink Path of Glory medal, right, will likely be on par with the season 5, which is the new season's red/abyssal medal. So we'll see how it goes once that update comes. The rest of it is just pretty straightforward quality of life changes. Like for example, for boss rush mode, in the waiting time between the auto boss rush mode is changed from 5 to 3 seconds. Then you have other stuff like buffing the boss's HP and defense. This here is an important change where when the bosses each boss rush is limited to 3 minutes. That means that you can't try to kill some boss at a much higher CP than yours through grinding him down. You only have 3 minutes left to kill. So Uraka might have a bit of a survival chance in that sense. Okay, other than that, most of these are specific quality of life changes. There is one change here where you can feed the Black Spirit the ball material used to create the red totem. So by feeding that, you get materials to enhance your totem with, basically. Then as you can see here, right, they have increased the number of crystals that you can auto synthesize at one go, as well as lightstone. This is not useful for us because most of the time we use this to feed to the holy potion instead of to craft the holy potion instead of using this. Okay. The second most important update are the character buffs and some nerfs for some of the classes. So this is Gladiator. Gladiator is getting a slight buff mostly in PvE. As you can see, it's a direct damage increase. This is not that huge of a giant as you think it is. They are just doing the slight changes here. So Gladiator, unfortunately I don't have a Gladiator. I can't log in to show you guys. Okay. Yeah, again, this is just direct damage increment. Quite sizable if you look at the percentage itself. Okay, I think this is the best piece of news for you guys who love using Warrior. Now, Berserker, right, previously it was buffed, and now it's buffed yet again. So this is really good news for you guys who like your Warriors. Essentially, this is just a bug fix. This is making it such that this skill can be used to interrupt any other skills. It's like a animation cancel basically, and they reduce the cooldown to 4 seconds. Then the distance is also slightly increased. Okay, you know what? Let me log into my Berserker. So looking a bit. Alright, so Berserker. Where was that skill? Okay, this is the one I was talking about where now they give the animation cancel, where you can do it anytime during these skills. As per listed here. The cooldown was also reduced to 4 seconds. Then with the this actually lists it as 2 seconds. I'm not sure whether this is a bug. Yeah, but in the patch notes it's actually stated as 4 seconds, and I don't have the buff for. There is no buff for cooldown reduction. Yeah. Okay, but either way, right? Effectively, right? This is animation cancel to save yourself. For example, when you're using an animation that doesn't have super armor, you can use this to immediately switch to having super armor. But unfortunately, the super armor is not effective during arena. But it does give you an immediate chance to attack your opponent. Yeah. Okay, so let's go through the other changes. Actually, I think this is a very nice change. I actually saw this by one of the Korean broadcasters. So it was doing a very nice dash attack. It's no, not this one. This. Okay, this skill, right? Okay, let me just go to a map to show. Okay, this is the Hadum Nightmare entrance, which is why I have it. Okay, so this is I'm not sure whether this is a good enough distance for me to use to demonstrate. Okay, turn off the auto attack. This is the reach bar, by the way. Once the reach bar is full, I think you can get the Berserker mode. So this is the dashing skill, dash attack skill that Berserker has. So what they have done in terms of the change here is that by holding on, right, you can dash for a longer and further distance. There was an enemies here that was being blocked, but effectively, right, they have increased the dash distance. Yep. Yep. Okay, so let's go back to the list of changes. So effectively, right, these two other changes, right, gives you combo. Basically, it's enabling a smooth of effects, right, a row of effects, right, based on combos. So when you use effectively, when you use this skill, which is this skill here, the one where he does a spin and then with a dash down. This skill, once you use it, there is an effect here where by using these snakes, right, you will trigger this effect. And when you use this skill, along with this effect being triggered, right, you can immediately use this skill. So they have actually added in combo effects for this Berserker class. So in other words, right, if you are, I'm very sure that this will not work for auto attack. Auto attack will not work for this. You definitely need to manually choose the sequence of the skills. So that means that, right, for manual attacking players, right, you'll be glad to know that Berserker is actually getting such a buff. Now, does this make it strong enough to contend with the other classes? Honestly, I think it remains to be seen. But I am not holding my hopes up high. But what this means, right, is that Berserker is definitely viable. It is it's no longer in the bottom tier, so to speak. Okay, let me just quick look at this skill. This is the last skill that you can activate immediately once you use the first skill. So effective, right, when you use this, then using this, you can activate this effect. What's this? Okay, you have to hold on. So use this, then this with a holding on effect so that you can add on the attack. Oh wait, I have to enable this first. Okay. Yep, we are talking about the third hit here. So this effect is effectively the third hit. So what happens is that you use the first skill where he spins and jumps out to attack. Then you use the first skill, which gives you the 3 hits. Once you do... Oh, I think when you combo it, right, you will immediately trigger the third hit. And once you use the third hit, you can immediately use this. So it's like a fast combo. Okay, I think let's try it out. Unfortunately, I don't have it in the same block. Okay, wait. Is this skill? Out. Just double check. Okay. Yep, so these are the 3 skills in the combo order, so to speak. So let's do a bit of swapping. Okay. I guess it means that we need to hit this then this, then this. Though not sure whether I have enough mobs for us to try this out. See, immediately it triggers the third hit. That is what effectively that skill, that change was about. So third hit, and then immediately you can swing without the recovering from that third hit, because that third hit's animation is quite long. Okay, now for all them to activate first. Okay, so 1, 2. Oops, that was so fast. Hang on just a moment. So 1, 2, immediately use the spin. So effectively, I think what it does is just to trigger the third hit immediately. I guess it makes the combo more smooth, but it doesn't feel like that strong of a boost per se. Okay, so let me change. Wait, there's something I can do here. Okay, so let me change back to my main. Just quickly find a spot to AFK farm in. No more mobs here, but never mind. Okay, so that is for Berserker. There is the next up is actually nerfs for Huntress. Nerf in terms of the reduction of the movement speed debuff that is given from its skills. So they're actually making it such that you don't slow your opponents down as much in terms of movement speed. And rest of this is just bug fixes. Okay, Riven. Riven is actually getting a huge buff here. Let me just read through this. It's first time looking through this. Okay, so instead of like the first hit giving you a daze, then after that the knockdown, it's a direct knockdown immediately. Then the damage is actually it's not really a buff, because it reduces the number of hits while increasing the damage, but the actual increase is not double of this. It's actually slightly lower. This is definitely a direct buff. Quite a huge buff actually. 120% is like almost 40% buff. Yeah. In both PvE and PvP. Likewise for this, is a direct buff. Yet another direct buff. Another direct buff. Another direct buff. So it's like a huge buff to the Raven itself. So this, I guess this is to help bridge the gap, right, between Reaper and Raven now. Cause Reaper is really a lot stronger now. So I don't have the chance to test it out yet. I don't know how big of a difference this Raven change is, but I know that one of the Korean broadcasters actually have changed their character to Riven, their main to Riven. But that guy was actually using Riven previously, so naturally he would change back to Riven the moment Riven got buffed. Cause you know, I believe he still have some love for the character. So all in all, this looks good. But personally, when I was doing the leveling of the Reaper, when I was creating the new Reaper, just a couple days back during the Saturday, the weekend, I find that the skills for Raven isn't that great. I mean, not my style. It's just not my cup of tea. But maybe it is for you guys, and if it is, right, then congratulations, because there's quite a bit of buff for this character. So the future of Raven looks good. There's some buff for Striker. This is the Meiwa Ascension. Direct buffs as well. Bug fix for Mystic. Okay, so that basically concludes the patch notes review for the Taiwan server on 24th March. So the biggest two changes I would say is the new Sun Battlefield mode. That one I'm looking forward to it, to trying it out, and of course the gambling system that comes with it. And next up would be then the class changes. The two biggest class changes I would say would be to the Riven, then the Berserker. Riven change is really quite huge. Berserker change, I thought it was bigger than it is lesser than I thought, in a sense. Because when reading this, I thought it would make it very smooth, but when I was trying it out just now, it doesn't feel of that much of an impact. Yeah. Okay. Raven, I'll probably look at more videos of Raven, the new Raven, to see how strong it is. Sorry. Okay, so the last topic I would want to cover, right, would be actually the cash shop, the new cash shop that we have this time around, and also the events that we have. Okay, so basically, right, the first page will always be the new cash shop items. If you see here, this is 116.33 SGD, which my guess is somewhere around 80, about 80 USD or 85 USD. Yeah. So effectively, right, this is a item with a 1+1 event now, where by buying one of these, right, you get a complete copy of it. So that's why it's called 1+1. What you get, right, is from, I'm just going to talk about one chest first. So this is 4,000 white pearls and a chance, right, an even chance. I've already checked the percentage chance for this. It's even throughout. So it's either a 20% chance to get 2 episode accessories, or 450 this totem chest, which effectively gives you the materials to try enhancement. 72k restoration scroll, which is really very nice. 70k boss stamps, which is great as well, and 100k ancient ruin tablets. This is okay, I guess. I would expect the number to be higher actually, for it to be like on the same level as the ancient ruin boss stamps. So what this means, right, is that 2 of these, by spending the amount of 116 SGD here, we get 2 of these, meaning that we get 8,000 pearls and 2 chances at getting one of these 5 items. So in comparison, right, how I judge the value of a new package and whether or not I should buy it, right, I always fall back to the current price that we have for pearls. So if you look here, right, for buying 8,000 white pearls, the cost is the same cost, which is the 116 SGD. So you can tell immediately this is actually quite worthwhile, because you get the same amount of white pearls, but you get 2 chances at this. So imagine if you're lucky enough, you get 2 of the boss stamps. That's 140k boss stamps. 140k boss stamps translate to a nice amount of knowledge, boss knowledge in turn CP, translates to silver, translates to ancient gold coins, the Shakatu gold coins, and if you are doing the Hadum boss rush mode, right, it even translates to better grades of the relic inscription or enchantment, whatever the name will be in future. So I would think that this is fairly decent. Would I buy all 4 of them? It depends really, because it's not cheap. It's 116 SGD. So 4 of these is about 450 SGD. Yeah, there about. Now, the next one, right, is also a 1+1, where for 1/5 of the price, you get 500 white pearls, which is not 1/5, by the way, it's 1/8 of the amount of white pearls here. 5,000 of the boss stamps and 5,000 of the Shakatu exchange voucher. So multiply that by 2, right? 1,000 white pearls, 10k boss stamps and 10k Shakatu vouchers. To me, this item is useless because I think I have like 1+ million of it. So there's no value in me buying this. Now, if I compare against the boss stamps, right? Let's say we multiply this, we buy 5 of these, which is the maximum amount they allow you to buy per month anyway. If I buy 5 of these, right, I only get 50k boss stamps and 5,000 white pearls. Whereas as opposed to these, right, I get 8,000 white pearls. Remember to double because it's 1+1. I get 8,000 versus 5,000 white pearls. Just the boss stamp alone, right, we are talking about 140,000 versus 50,000. So to me, it's a no-brainer that this is out. If I'm going to spend money, I'll be spending on this. I'll be spending on this, not this. Okay, next. This is priced at 34.19. So if you buy 3 of these, it's equivalent to the 100. So again, very good for comparison. So for these, right, by buying 3 of these, they give you 1 of these chests. So effectively, right, you need to multiply these figures by 4 to compare against the first chest that I said was good. So times 4, right, this is 4,800 black pearl. Nowhere near 8,000 white pearl, number 1. Number 2, boss stamps is a guaranteed 7k and a chance to get either one of these. So I've already gone to the website to check, right? This 5,000 is the highest percentage chance to get, 45%. This is 35%. This is 15%, I think, and this is like 5 or 10%, I can't remember. So actually, wait, I think I still do have it here. Okay. So this is the percentage here. 5% only for the 10k. Only 5% for the 10k. Most of the time you'll be getting the 5k or the 4k because it's based on the percentage. If you're lucky, you may get a 6k out of the 4 chests that you'll be opening. So what this means, right, is that this is of lower value than the first one. Pearls wise, it loses out. Scrolls wise, it also loses out because the other one has a percentage chance of getting the 140. This one average out also about, I would say about 70. So it's still not worth it. Now, the 4th new item we have here for this black pearl. So this is like a cute little black spirit statue that you can open to get black pearls. So this is the amount that you can get. I mean, it looks fantastic, right? 700k black pearls. It's like mind-blowing. 10 times the amount that I have here. But how hard is it to get this? That's the real question here. Because it's only $3.49 SGD for this. The maximum you can buy in a week is 10. So you'll be spending $30+ on this, which my guess is about 25 USD at a gacha chance to see whether you can get this. I can tell you, even getting the few thousand is much better because likely the most common figure should be 399. So let's go back to the percentage rate here. There you go. Look at these rates here. Okay, 40.50%, the highest percentage is for the 399 black pearls for $3 SGD. So let's say we take it out as an average, right? It means that you are spending $30 for about 4k black pearls. Assuming that this is someone who isn't very lucky or unlucky. Because if you're unlucky, right, you'll be getting closer to 3,000 rather than 4,000. Now, if I go back to the rate for black pearls, this is actually a good one. So this is also gacha, but it gives white pearls. So the best comparison, I guess, would be this, where for 34.90 SGD, you get a chance between this range of figures. So again, this one is the same, where this is the highest chance. So that means that that particular one, right, is about the same as this, and this is actually quite high value if you ask me. When I'm out of black pearls, this is my go-to option, because when you're lucky, right, for example, I was quite lucky last week. I think I got quite a few 6,000s and 5,000s. So personally, this is a it's not like it's not a high chance to get 700. Must be realistic with this. So if you look here, anything in single digit percentage is very hard to get because you are opening 10 chests, only 10 of these, which means that each one of them you only have like a good 10% chance of getting the lottery, so to speak. But this is 2%, this is 1.49, 1%, and the 700k is 0.01%. You have to be really lucky to get this. This is really winning the lottery. So nevertheless, right, value significantly, the decent value, there is still decent value in this. So if I were to purchase so far, right, based on new items, right, it will be the first one and the second one. Sorry, the fourth one. Now this last one, 800 black pearls, 10,000 ancient ruby tablets, and then for each of these purchase, right, the more you buy, up to 7, right, they actually give you a rolling bonus. So first, at 2 purchases, you get a 10k boss stamp, which makes out to be about $40, $46. If I use the same estimate back to the first chest, right, we say about buying about 5, right, I get 200k 200k relic fragments, 38k restoration scroll, 1 abyssal accessory, 10,000 boss stamps, and 50,000 ancient ruby tablets, 4,000 black pearl. Overall, I would say the value is lower than the first one, but higher than the second one. Would I buy it? My answer is probably no. Although this is really attractive to me, by buying the 6th round, right, you actually get an ancient relic, abyssal relic, the red relic. But if I'm on a budget, right, this is not a go-to option. So basically, it will be the 1st and the 4th. So if I do buy these chests, right, which I think I would, I just don't know how many of them I will buy, I will definitely do up a gacha video or stream to show you guys what I get from these 2 items. Yep. Other than that, right, they actually introduced this new shop here where you can use 6,000 white pearls to get 6,000 black pearls together with this item. This looks quite attractive, but if you really think about it, right, it's really not that great. Okay, this one is maybe not so bad, but I'll explain why. So you look back to the per purchase that I was talking about. So this is a very value package where they limit you every month you can only buy 6 of these. So far I've already gotten 3 when we are almost at the end of March. 2,000 white pearls and 4,000 black pearls. Now if I look back to the 116 package, right, it's 8,000 white pearls for this price. Half that and it's 4,000 white pearls. For the price of 4,000 white pearls, I can get 2,000 white pearls and 4,000 black pearls. So we can roughly translate that the value of white pearl to black pearl is about 1 to 2. If I use that ratio, right, effectively, right, this particular purchase here, I am spending 6k to get 6k black pearls, which is effectively 3k white pearls, since we talked about the ratio as 1 to 2. And this 20k boss stamps. So I'm effectively spending 3k black pearls to get 20k boss stamps. Sorry, 3k white pearls, 3k white pearls to get 20k boss stamps. I would say it's just a okay rate, not a high rate. It's fairly okay. Better than some of the other choices for getting boss stamps. For this, right, it's 2k white pearl for abyssal accessory using the same formula that we were talking about just now. This is not worth it. 2k black pearls is not worth abyssal accessory in our endgame right now. This is effectively 1k white pearls for 150 of this totem, which is extremely not worth it, because the previous patch that we had, right, the cash shop was already offering 150 totem chests for, I can't remember how much, a few hundred white pearls only, definitely not 1000 white pearl. So if I were to look at this list, right, the only thing that's remotely worth it is this. I have to look at this as either spending 6k black pearls or 3k white pearls. Let's say, assuming that it's a 6k BP, right? 6k BP for boss stamps is really not that great. I'm trying to see whether I have any reference. Unfortunately, we don't right now. So it's okay, I guess, if you actually spend, if you bought all 4 of these chests, right, you will have a lot of white K pearls to spare, right? So then I guess it's okay to spend on that. But usually, typically every day we have the things that we can buy from white pearl would be this. This effectively gives you the one box gives you 2 of the Path of Glory entrance tickets for 700 white pearls. Then you can buy this for 275 each, maximum of 5 per day. This is to help support the Hadum effort in terms of the holy water. Then you have other miscellaneous items here, which I think I previously went through before. And today, every day we have a special sale, right? So today we have this particular one. That again is giving you light stones for getting holy potions. So this is a very typical example of how I will usually gauge what to buy in the cash shop and whether or not it's worth to spend on it. I can tell you guys I don't spend on everything. You may think that I'm a massive cash player, but no, I don't spend on everything. I spend on what I think is truly high in value. So for this particular patch, I will probably be buying this and this. Whether I'll buy all 4, depends. I'll probably see my first few what is the result before I decide, or maybe I'll just try my luck. I don't know. So you can find out more on these, right, in my future videos or streams. Yep. Okay. So last one. We are done with the cash shop. Now we'll talk about the events that we have. So this is very straightforward. It's just based on time to receive items, login time. This here, I think you guys will be very interested in this. This is a full set of Abyssal gear, non-tradable Abyssal gear, but it is the world boss version, so still usable for crafting the ancient gear. You need 900 of this particular material here. Full set of Abyssal accessory, 600. Then you have the standard 100 Blessed Spirit, some critical enhancement stones, enhancement stone material for enhancing cannot be equipped but can be used to enhance. Tier 5 pets, some mats, some materials here and there. How do you get this material? This, if I were to translate literally, is Conqueror Scroll. Okay, so it's actually from this event here, where the more world boss, the boss rush, right? The more of the boss rush that you do, the higher the ticket that you get, the item that you get. So it is a daily quest that's reset every day. So what this means is that every day, right, be it the normal boss rush or the Hadum boss rush, we need to do 1800. The Hadum boss rush, we need to do 18 of it. So this is the most demanding quest or event that I have seen so far. It really demands a lot of resources for you to go and do all this boss rush. And actually, if you look at the Korea patch notes, right, this that was released today as well, they are actually introducing a new area in Valencia South Zone, I think. And in that area, right, they are introducing a new quest story boss, which is also added to the boss rush. So now you can appreciate why they are actually doing this kind of event, right, when they are making us use our boss rush tickets, so that they can then get us to buy more the next week when the new boss comes and we want to catch up and pump up that new boss knowledge level for CP. The new boss does give CP, it gives defense. So typically the events in Black Spirit, right, is usually geared towards such a direction where there is some kind of linkage to your next event or the upcoming content. Yeah. So that's how it goes. So for me personally, because I also need to do a video guide for you guys on the normal boss rush modes, special boss rush stamps, I'll probably be doing some normal boss rush instead of everything doing Hardum. Everything doing Hardum is actually very expensive. I have already calculated the amount of boss stamps required. I don't even have that amount yet. I only have about close to 800k right now before I buy any of the items that I mentioned just now. But the amount required, right, if you want to do Hardum all the way, right, it was 1.26 million boss stamps and 12.6k of the Shadow Knot item. That Shadow Knot item is really expensive, by the way. 2000 black pearls for 1000 of it, or you can slowly farm in Hardum mode. I slowly farm for very long already, and yet it's still about 1000 plus if I truly count the amount I have just purely from farming. So that's not easy. So likely I will be doing some normal boss rush to take the opportunity to show you guys the special boss rush guide as well. Then from there we see how it goes. Alright, so that is all for my Taiwan patch review today. I will definitely do one for BDM Global, for your BDM Global release today as well. Effectively Tuesdays are gonna be my patch review days for both the Taiwan server and the BDM Global. Okay, thanks everyone for watching. See you next video. Bye.